Hello dear friends, Eastwind is in touch. Today we will talk about nuclear energy. Today, due to the most powerful environmental lobby of all time, many countries give their preference to generating energy using renewable environmental energy sources. This is mainly in solar or wind energy, or hydropower, and a very small share belongs to geothermal energy. However, none of these types of generation is capable of provide long-term energy for human civilization. We have to be realistic here. The implementation of scientific progress requires more and more energy resources, new technologies, universal informatization and all the rest of the set of opportunities that society provides to a person. All this requires a decent amount of primary energy. Even the process of preserving the environment and the various hydrogen strategies of the countries of the world, including Russia, require the expenditure of energy to create and maintain appropriate technologies, and this is only what concerns our planet. But if we want to become a truly interplanetary species, as Elon Musk, for example, wants, we cannot do without an energy source that will be truly efficient regardless of the environmental conditions on Earth, in water, in space and on another planet. Otherwise, our civilization will be doomed to gradual extinction. That is, humanity essentially needs that same mythical perpetual motion machine that will satisfy our current needs for energy and ecology, as well as the needs of our descendants, who will inevitably become colonizers of new planets and star systems. I am convinced that the future of energy lies in thermonuclear fusion. The process of synthesis of heavier elements from less heavy ones is the source of energy for all the stars in the universe. This is what we need to strive for in the future, but as objective reality has shown, to tame thermonuclear energy turned out to be not so simple, as scientists assumed at the dawn of the nuclear age. Even today, obtaining a self-sustaining reaction of the basic minimum of thermonuclear energy is extremely difficult to achieve and for a short period of time. As a result, thermonuclear energy today, only at the very beginning of the journey. This topic is still uncertain and requires years of research, scientific and technical research and enormous financial and material resources. The only thing today, humanity has nuclear energy at its disposal. At the same time, thanks to the efforts of Western eco-activists, only a few countries in the world have nuclear competencies. To be realistic, today nuclear energy is the only large-scale and technologically sound industrial method of producing energy. A nuclear reactor is operational on land, in water, in space, and on other planets without losing its basic characteristics. The Zeus project being developed is proof of this. During the energy production process, nuclear power plants do not emit harmful substances and CO2. But there is the problem of nuclear spent fuel and the likelihood of major accidents. The more powerful the energy source per unit mass, the more destructive it is if used incorrectly. These are completely obvious things, and instead of improving protection technologies, develop new safer reactors, a significant half of the world has decided to abandon nuclear power plants in favor of inefficient energy sources that can work only on Earth. This is what I think is the most important, a global era that holds back technological progress, and indeed the availability of the common goods of society. The energy disaster last winter, which literally stopped alternative generation in Germany, Japan and the USA, showed the whole world how wrong it was in its conclusions. But it was precisely this catastrophe that forced Europe. Think about it now. Recently, the European Commission prepared a document in which it isolated and equated the environmental footprint of the full cycle of operation of nuclear power plants. That is, from production, fuel to nuclear waste disposal, to the ecological footprint of solar and wind energy. As you understand, there is an unambiguous hint that the sustainable development of humanity depends on nuclear energy. Well, as they say, better late than never. And there's nowhere later, since there is only one company left in the world that still has the entire cycle, nuclear competencies and the most advanced nuclear safety reactors. As you probably guessed, I mean the Russian Rosatom, and today it is Russia, in the person of Rosatom, who is entrusted with the mission to create that same perpetual motion machine based on nuclear technologies, which, by the way, were also almost lost. Today Russia is the only one in the world, a country that can currently allow experiments with the most advanced technologies of the nuclear industry. And now attention, June 8, 2021 started construction of the world's first nuclear power complex capable of operating according to the principle closed nuclear fuel cycle. Experimental nuclear demonstration complexes include: first, spent nuclear reprocessing plant, fuel; second, a plant for the fabrication of new fuel. The experimental reactor Brestodd-300. The main difference between this project and other similar projects: this is not even increased safety of the reactor itself, although this is also no less important, and the fact that Rosatom will develop technology that maximizes the expansion of the uranium fuel base by including uranium-238 in the nuclear cycle, which today is a waste of the nuclear industry. In other words, there will be 140 times more nuclear fuel for energy production than all of humanity has used since the beginning of the atomic age, and this in turn means that if in 2050, if the world switches exclusively to nuclear energy, then fast neutron reactors in combination with traditional nuclear energy will ensure sustainable energy and economic growth of human civilization until at least 2130. And given the average increase in energy consumption over 30 years, humanity's energy needs will increase by 6 times by this time. All this time, nuclear energy alone will be able to satisfy the energy needs of all humanity. It is precisely this kind of perpetual nuclear engine that Russia is currently developing, since today it is the only technology capable of implementing plans for implementation. And the spread of hydrogen technologies make the world environmentally friendly, solve problems with spent nuclear waste, and give humanity time to safely develop thermonuclear energy. There is only one thing that upsets us. Western countries are so far behind in nuclear competencies and technologies that besides Russia, no one else is designing nuclear complexes of this scale. On the other hand, this is a great opportunity for Russia to export new generation reactors on fast neutrons. And Rosatom is already thinking about this today, believing that from 2030 to 2040 this technology will become an export item. In conclusion, we can say that Russia is really doing what many energy engineers and nuclear physicists in the world could only dream of. Fiction comes true. I believe that the middle of the 21st century will be marked the triumph of a new generation of nuclear energy. And that's all. Dear friends, Eastwind was with you. Be healthy and strong. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and write comments. Good luck.